From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, January 24th, 2015. Silver is trading at $18.37 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,295 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $237. Antiwar.com reports a day after Yemeni President Hadi, his entire cabinet, and the Prime Minister resigned, calm prevailed over the Yemeni capital of Sana'a, even as international officials warned of a power vacuum. Houthi rebels maintain effective control over the capital and indeed much of the nation, and while some of the officials welcomed Hadi's resignation, the group itself took no official position. Hadi and the other officials were in talks with the Houthis on a power-sharing deal, but clashes erupted when the talks stalled, leading Hadi supporters to claim a coup was being carried out. Yemen's parliament, such as it is, rejected Hadi's resignation and held emergency meetings on trying to resolve the situation. So far, they've not managed to resolve anything, however, and Hadi's return seems unlikely. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the Supreme Court on Friday agreed to review Oklahoma's controversial method of execution by lethal injection, taking up a case brought by 3 death row inmates who accused the state of violating the U.S. Constitution's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. The High Court just last week allowed the execution of a convicted killer in Oklahoma over the objection of its 4 liberal members. The 3-drug process used by Oklahoma prison officials has been under scrutiny since the April 2014 botched execution of convicted murderer Clayton Lockett. He could be seen twisting on the gurney after death chamber officials failed to properly place an IV. The inmates challenged the state's procedures, arguing the sedative used by Oklahoma, midazolam, cannot achieve the level of unconsciousness required for surgery, making it unsuitable for executions. The case draws fresh attention to the ongoing debate over whether the death penalty should continue in the United States at a time when most developed countries have abandoned it. The Death Penalty Information Center, which compiles execution statistics, says only 7 of the 32 states that still have the death penalty on the books executed inmates in 2014, with most coming in just 3 states: Texas, Missouri, and Florida. The group also says that the number of executed inmates has hit a 20-year low. The Supreme Court case directly affects only Oklahoma, but Florida uses a similar protocol, so death row inmates there may seek stays based on the pending case. On January 15th, the High Court, on a 5-4 vote, declined to halt Oklahoma's execution of Charles Warner. Although 5 votes are needed to grant a stay application, only 4 are required for the court to take up a case. The inmates say Oklahoma's 3-drug protocol can cause extreme pain, violating the Constitution's 8th Amendment prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. In the spirit of Motorhome Diaries and Liberty on Tour, I intend to take the message of peace, love, and liberty on the road. To find out more about the tour or to donate, visit tour.fppradio.com. That's tour.fppradio.com. UPI reports a federal judge on Friday ruled Alabama's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. U.S. District Judge Jenny Granade struck down the Alabama Marriage Protection Act and an amendment that put it on the state's constitution in a lawsuit brought by 2 women, Carrie Searcy and Kim McKeon. They sought to have their out-of-state marriage recognized in Alabama so they would both be considered the legal parents of their 8-year-old child. The 2 were married in 2008 in California and have lived in Alabama since 2011. Granade said the act was unconstitutional because it violated the Equal Protection and Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The ruling makes Alabama the 37th state, including Washington, D.C., to recognize same-sex marriage. Attorney General spokesman Mike Lewis said via email, "We are disappointed and are reviewing the federal district court's decision. We expect to ask for a stay of the court's judgment pending the outcome of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling, which will ultimately decide this case." This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.